This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, guys. So, regarding there was a poll, right? A quiz kind of thing in the group about input. Did everyone get what is the answer and why the answer is no? Good morning, Sirisha. Good morning, Divya. So, did you guys understand it? Otherwise, I can explain here. Okay. It's kind of a tricky but funny one. Okay. So, let me share my screen. We will see few operators and the statements in Python. Then we will continue with the project. So guys, actually, I thought today I can give some assignment, but I wanted to check with you if you guys are comfortable. I'll explain what the assignment would be. VS Code is not opening. I guess VS Code is angry with me. So we saw this program on Friday, right? Um, Calculator, palindrome checker. So we saw this. I mean, we have to reverse and check if it's a palindrome or not. So here we just directly wrote all the statements. But I want to implement function like definition. See here, there is a function called factorial, not factorial. So here we can directly give add, we can directly give one more line in if condition like a plus b or num1 plus num2. But we have a function and we call that function add function here, right? So similarly, I wanted to I wanted you guys to implement this palindrome checker with function. You have to define a function, give some name to the function, and write few codes. Move these few lines, whatever you feel should be moved inside function, and move it. Then you have to return. You have to give return statement. Then you can call that function here in if statement. So could you guys can do it, or you want it to be done in the class only? Could you guys try it on own, or you wanted me to explain it? Okay, Sirisha is telling we'll try. Other people, please tell. Okay, Sam is telling please explain. Then remaining they are telling they will try. Anybody wants me to explain? Anybody else? Vivek, Rajita, RK. Okay, let's do one thing. Sam, let me explain you at the end. Maybe RK and Sam, let me explain. Okay, two people are asking, three people are asking. Okay, then we can go through in the class only. Before that, we will see some statements. and then we will see how to implement a normal code with function, same snippet in function. So today we are going to see some operators. We would have already used them before learning, but let me explain the operators. Those are called comparison operators. Okay, I don't know what happened to my VS Code. Okay, so we are going to see few operators. Let me explain. Let me give you the list what all we are going to see. One is double equal to, then exclamatory equal to, greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to. Okay, these are the 6 comparison operator we have in Python. So I believe you already know what is double equal to. So equal to means you are, if a equal to 5 means you are assigning value 5 to the variable a. So now if a equal to 5 means here you are not assigning, you are checking whether variable is having value a. If so, you will tell it's true. Otherwise, you will tell it's false. Okay. So all these 6 operators, they are called comparison operator. They compare and tell whether it is true or false. The output will always be Boolean for the comparison operator. Okay. So I need not explain. I know you all know this is double equal to means it checks whether the value where the variable has that value inside it. Though this is called exclamatory equal to is not equal to. So it if, for example, if a is containing 5 and if you are giving a not equal to 5, then this will result, I mean this will return false if you are giving, because a is equal to 5. If you are telling a is not equal to 5, then it is false. If you are telling this a is not equal to 6, then it is true. Yeah, a is 5 which is not equal to 6, then it's true. Okay, so greater than, less than, you know, greater than equal to 1, less than equal to, you all know, I believe. So let's see a simple example quickly. So 5 is never not equal to 6, so it is going to give false. And let me give a equal to 6, then true. So a greater than b, no, it's false. A less than b, it's true. And then a equal to or greater than 5, a, okay, the syntax should be greater than equal to 5, it's true. 5 given in the reverse order, equal to, greater than, equal to come always at the end. So here also not equal to, greater than or equal to. So it is anyway, it A is 5, so which is not greater than 5, but we have one more condition called equal to. If either one is true, then it is going to return true. Either one, either this can be true or this can be true. Then it is going to return true. Then A less than or equal to B. B is 6, A is 5, which is not equal. So equal is not going to give false, but this less than is going to give true. If one is true, then the answer is true, right? Because 5 is less than 6. So these are the, let me copy these two. So you notice that always it is, the output is Boolean. So now we will see chained comparison operator. Chained means we have more than one comparison in it, which is clubbed together. Let me Chain comparison will have more than one comparison operator in that particular line. For example, less than equal to, for example, less than equal to is one operator, and not equal to. Not equal to is the next operator. So we will be seeing both operators in same line. For example, 1 less than 2 less than 3. So we have more than one operator. This is also possible in Python. And for learning chained operations, you should know two different statements in Python. They are and or. Okay. So and means if and is used to make sure two checks have to be true in order to the total for the total to be true. For example, if you are telling a less than, so let me first run this. So it is telling 3 because 1 is less than 2 and 2 is less than 3. If I have to implement this using and, 1 is less than 2 and 2 is less than 3. So it is true. If I am giving 1 is, because 1 is less than 2 is also true. This is also true. True and true is always true. True and false is always false. Okay, both should be true for the output should to be true. This also should be true. This evaluation also should be true. So let me give 3 less than 2. So here, this is true, but this is false. Let's see what and is going to give us. False. Guys, any doubt till now? Let me show one more example. Here, the same line I can write in different way. The same line I have written in this way. The same thing I can write in this, say, 2 greater than 1 and 3 greater than 2. Correct? 3 here, 2 less than 3, which is nothing but 3 greater than 2. 2 greater than 1. Both are true. So let's see the output. It's true. So let me do one more thing. 1 equal to 2 and 2 is less than 3. So here 2 less than 3 is true, but this is false. Both should have the same number if you are using double equal to. So this is false. Let me implement this with or. So the only difference between or and is for and both the output should be true for you to give the output true. Everything should be true, only then you will see true as output. For or, if either one is true, then you will see true as the output. If one is true, then you will see true as output. If both are true, then you will see true as output. If only both are false, you will see false as output. If there is no true at all, only then you will see false in OR. Okay, 2 less than 3. So here this is true and OR. So you are seeing OR true. Okay, let me switch it. 2 less than 3 or 1 double equal to 2. Then again, 1 minute, guys. I have something in stove. I'll switch it off. So here 2 is also less than 3, which is true, and this is false. So 1 is true. So you are seeing 2 as an output. Let me give 3 less than 2, which is false, or 1 double equal to 2, which is also false. Now you will see false as an output. Correct? If both are false, then only you will see false. Let me So guys, I want answer from you. True, true, and true. What is the output for this?
True.
True.
Okay. True and false.
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 False and true.
False.
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 False and false.
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 True or true.
True.
False.
If either one is true, then it will return true. If both are true, then again it will return true. Okay.
It's arcade.
Sorry.
True.
False.
Will be arcade now
Okay.
for
It's
true
true,
and
ma'am.
Uh,
True or false is true. 6 to 1.
okay. So Vivek was asking something about the line 5, right?
yeah, yeah.
So what was your question?
If true and true in arcade means it will be false.
True or true is false. Okay. 1 double equal to true or 3 greater than 4. 3 greater than 2. True. So if one
Oh,
is either one is in the least is at least one should be true. Then the odd will return true. If both are true, happy, it will return true. Only when both are false, if there is no true at all in the statement. Let me show that. F or T, F or T, false are true,
True.
false are false.
False.
Okay. So here you can see in this four statement, at least one T should be there. If both are T, then it's fine. So here T is there, here also T is there. So in the statement true is there. In the statement also one true is there. Here also true, two true is also fine. Here there is no true at all. Then it cannot return true, right? So it is returning false. So here both should be true. Remaining all case it will be false. Here it's not true. So it is becoming false. Here it is expecting true, but it is false. So it is returning false. Here both are false. So what can it do? It will return false only. Let me put this in the content. Okay. So now let's see. The next topic is statements. But before moving to statement, let's see how to write palindrome checker with function in it. VS Code. I worked yesterday also. It was working fine. Something happened to my VS Code. Okay, let me do one thing. I will write the code in Notepad only. Then I'll save it as .py and I'll execute it from terminal. Let me now open. So this is what we have tried to do on Friday, like get the input, strip it, and then reverse it, and then we are using the output here. So you guys, I believe you all guys remember what is strip, which will remove the leading and trailing space. So to implement function, first definitely we have to write a function. So let me define, to write a function, you have to write define keyword, and you can give some name to the function. Let me give it a palindrome, and we definitely need input for this function. Let me give str or I input underscore str colon. Now, so what we are going to do inside this function is we will write a input statement which will get input from user. Usually we, okay, a minute. Usually we don't get input from the user. So the main use of function is you can use this function anywhere inside the program. For example, if your one program, particular program is 1,000 lines, then what you can do, you can call this function, and from anywhere it is going to work. And you can call this function from your another Python code. If you have one more Python code, from there also you wanted to call this function, you can still call this function. So for example, if I have one more Python code, there I'm not getting input from the user, but I'm passing the input myself. I'm giving the input myself inside the code only. Like I'm directly giving some value here, some string here. I don't want to get the input from user. In that case, I cannot, if I put this statement here, right? If I add the statement here, in that case, it will expect input, but I cannot use this function because it is expecting input. So what I would do, I would put it here so that I can, this function is now universal. From anywhere I can call. If in case I wanted to give input, I can give input and call this. If I wanted to get the input from user, then again I can get the input from user, and then I can, with that input I can call. Either it is my own input or user input. I can get the input, have my input, and then later I can call this. Okay, that's why I'm moving this outside the function. And now here what we are going to do is we are stripping and then we are reversing. So let me give tab. So this all comes under this function, okay? And then we have, so here I have to return something in my function, right? So let me return. So here, whatever I have in this if condition, I'm giving it directly here. Return str double equal to. So my if palindrome is going to do is it got some input I dot str. So here I have to strip that str, right? The input whatever I got. This is the input I got. So I'm just stripping that input and saving into str. And then now str has the stripped input. I'm reversing it and saving into reverse. So the stripped input is here, proper input, clean input is here, and the reversed string is here. So I have to compare both. So here, why this str is showing in different colors? Str is a keyword, right? To convert input to string. So let me change it to here. Okay. So here we got the input, we got some input, either it is from user or they pass directly. I'm getting that input and stripping it. I'm saving into variable. I can use the same variable here. I can give istr here and istr here. But since we already had this in our code, so I'm going to save into str1 and then I'm reversing it. So our main concern is the main thing which we need is str1, which is a clean input, and the reverse, which is having the reverse data. So what I'm going to do is str1, I'm going to upper, change it. Either you can do both lower or both upper. You all guys know why we are doing this upper or lower. So now next I'm going to reverse string. So here I'm validating the since we have double equal to, it is checking whether both are same. If it is same, it is going to return boolean. Either it is going to tell true or false, right? So this is our definition, and before running this function, I'm getting input from the user. So I'm saving it into user input. This and this can be different because you do not know what is there inside the function. Your only goal here is to get the input from the user. So here I'm getting the input. Now here we already doing the this check inside the function, right? We are doing some check and we are returning something, or we are doing some operation and we are returning something. We already got this reverse, the data here. So here I'm just going to call the function because we have everything inside the function. I'm going to call it, which is going to do the operation for me. Is palindrome. So if I give is palindrome, and this is my user input, right? This is where I got the input from user. So I'm going to pass this. So please don't confuse between this variable and this variable. This is, forget all this definition. Freshly state free from ninth line. So I'm getting some user input. I'm getting some input from the user and saving inside user input. Now I know I have some function which is going to tell me whether the given word is palindrome or not. And I was given this this is the function name. So I am now going to call the function and with this input. So this is the input I give to that function because this function expects one input which is a string. So I'm passing that. So yes, what is going to return this function? Now let's go to the function. So we know it is going to tell true or false. If it is true, then the given string is palindrome, else the given string is non-palindrome. Okay. So now when I go there, is palindrome. What it does is the input whatever we pass. This user input is only now I underscore str. Okay, whatever is comes inside the bracket, that value is stored inside this variable. We can directly give the string also like radar. We can give in double quotes. We can give radar. That radar will be saved inside i.str or something residing inside user input that is now saved into this variable. and we are stripping it, we are reversing it, we are checking it. So it is going to return true if your input is radar. So then this line will be executed. If it's not true, if the output is, let's say I have given some name which is not a palindrome, in that case it is going to give false. This line number 7 is going to return false. In that case, if it is false, I'll go to else, and then this will be printed, right? Guys, any doubt? So here, okay. So any doubts, guys? I don't know if it's just with me, but that was quite confusing. Okay, okay. Mm, Let me show one more example. Maybe with that you will understand much better. So this is the code we have written for calculator, right? Um, let me see if I have that in my local calculator. Calculator is there. So this we have written for calculator. We are writing 4 different function, and what the function is doing, getting input x or y, and then adding that input and returning that. Okay, and for division we have one more check, because we cannot divide by 0. We are writing it here and then dividing it and returning the output. Okay, this is completely function. Now whatever we wanted to output for user, select operation, we are giving add, subtract, multiply, divide, and enter your choice. So based on the choice, again what we have to give, we have to get the input. So if it's not, the choice is not inside 1 2 3 4, then we are going to give, this is the unhappy scenario, leave this. So after giving some choice, let me give, let's assume the user had given subtract. Now they have to give 2 different string, right? So 2 different number to subtract. So we are getting them. Enter the number, enter the second number. So now our if condition, well, if choice is equal to 1, we are just calling, I mean, in print statement here, we are calling the function called add. Right here, whatever we got from user, num1 and num2 is passed. So this num1 and num2 is now saved as x and y. When this function is called, it is saving, considering the num1 as x and num2 as y, because we are calling in this way, add num1, num2. So num1 is considered as x for this function and y by this function, and it is returning this. So return is a plus b. So that what we will, it will be printed in this place. The output of this function will be printed here. So the result will be result. The print statement will be result is, for example, if it is 1 plus 2, then the result is 3, right? This you guys understood how we wrote this? Okay, can you
Instead
write
of
code?
num1 and num2, can we write x and y also?
We can write x and y also, but we can write x and y also, but why we are giving different things, otherwise we will get confused. Okay, this x is what this x is, we will get confused. That's why we have given different variable name. You can write
Variables.
x and y also. Yeah, you can write
Okay.
x and
That
y.
is the same, like both those variables will be the same. Whatever we are storing here, this is considered as x and this is in the function.
Yeah, so for example here, let me give x, okay, and let me give y. So here also x and here also y. So, Vivek, you said, can you write code in normal way? Yeah, I will write the code in normal way for you guys to understand. So here I'm giving x and y, right? What if I'm not getting the input from user? So now you get the confusion is resolved because x and y is passed, and here I'm giving that x and y is considered and is returning. What if I'm not getting the input from user? I just wanted to call just the add function with the hard coded value like a add 5 comma 4. Now you guys are clear, or you guys are having confusion?
Will this
Okay,
execute like
pal.
if we are giving direct parameters, the code will be
Yeah,
executed,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It will be executed. So what if
Okay.
I'm giving? What if I give add 5 comma 4?
Add 5 comma 4 will be 9, right?
So here it's not x and y. You're giving 5 and 4. What will happen? The 5 will be saved considered as x and 4 will be
X.
considered as y, right? So
Yes.
here you're not having any confusion. Why?
Only if
We
the
are
user
not
want
directly.
to give separate inputs, we should store those two numbers in the separate variables, and we are passing those variables.
Correct, correct. Either it is X or Y, either it is num1 or num2. This 5 is considered as X automatically by definition, right? Here I
Yes.
haven't, so the only confusion, the first confusion is, maybe you might have multiple confusion. The first confusion is why we are saving in different variable and passing that variable here, and we have different variable here, right? Here we are
Yes.
using num1 and I'm using num1 here, but here it is X and Y. But why you guys not getting confusion when I give 5 or 4? Because this is not anyway X and Y, right?
Yeah, in place of x and y, we are passing these parameters.
Correct. So similarly, num1 and num2. So in place of X and Y, I'm just passing the input I got from user. Whatever input I had read, I got that input and I'm passing that. So while calling the function, any variable I can give. It can be any name can be given. Any variable name can be given. Any variable. If it is directly 5 and 4, it will directly execute. If you are giving some variable, it goes and checks what is there inside that memory of that variable. So it is having some input the user got. Some 3 or 4 is saved inside num1. Some 1 or 2 is saved inside num2. That is now passed. So while passing, it will replace and it will pass. So now, for example, while executing this code, so I wanted to execute add. Now what the program will do, okay, num1, it will go and check what is there inside num1. And it found 4 in the memory, and num2, it found 3 in the memory. So it is going to replace it, add 4 comma 3 and call this add 4 comma 3. It is going to give 4 plus 3 is 7. It is going to return 7. Then the output is 7. Then add will be replaced by 7. Output of that function is 7. Whatever the it returns, whatever the return is giving, that is replaced here. When you call the function, whatever it returns, that is replaced by that line. So here it is replaced as 7. So your result will be, it will print like result is 7. Understood? Vivek, yeah, I will come to you. But remaining, I don't know if it's just me. Okay, confusing. It would have been better. We would have written it fresh. We can write it fresh, but I wanted you guys to know, for example, if some functions are not implemented in the code and they are telling we don't have function at all, but we have multiple logic. So uh, convert it into function so that the calculator will be used by some other palindrome checker. Also, we are using that add function. From this Python, we are going to call that. So convert the content to function. If they are asking in that way, you should be clear what should be given inside function and what should not be given inside function. Or I can do one more thing. I didn't say this, right? Control V. Okay, I will open the palindrome only. No. Let me open palindrome. So Control V. Before that, I want to show one more example in this calculator before going to palindrome. Okay, now it's original. So here, instead of writing this here, I'm writing some definition functions here, and then I'm calling the function here. If I don't implement functions, you know how my code would be. I will first, okay, let me write it here. So I will first get the input from the user, and then what I would do, Control V. Okay, so I will ask the user to give me the input. Correct, I'll copy this. So for the calculator to work, I'll ask first, give me, I will tell the user select the operation add subtract, and then I will give some choice and number one, number two, or we got. So if choice is equal to one, which is nothing but add, right? If choice is one, what is there inside one? Add. So we have to perform add. Here, what I can do, print. Print here. I know what to do to give addition of two number. So if choice is one, I'm going to give num1 plus num2. So here it is else if. Guys, you understood why I'm giving num1 plus num2 and what the output would be. 1 minute, I will go back to my editor. So num1 equal to 3, num2 equal to num2 equal to 5. So num plus num2, it gives me 8. Okay, I'm just doing plus operator. I'm using plus operator is going to give me addition of both the values. So that is what I have given here also inside the function, returning x plus y, num1 plus num2, or 5 plus 3, whatever it is. So here what I've did, I've given just directly num1 plus num2, num1 minus num2, num1 star num2, division. I have to add one more condition inside it, one more check. So that check would be, so else if choice is equal to 4, we are going to division. If it is division, yeah, Vivek.
Ma'am, I'm not asking the problem without function. I'm asking normal way in palindrome.
Yeah, I will explain at the end, Vivek. Let me first complete this. I'll surely explain this.
Okay.
Okay. So here, if the option is 4, then it is divide. If it is divide, I should check if the second input, that is num2, is 0. If it is 0, I will tell it cannot be divided by, else I will give num1 slash num2. Else you cannot use return outside the function. Only inside the function you can use. So this is my calculator function without calculator program, without using functions inside it. So I'm getting the input, I'm just validating the input and then converting the float, everything. I'm doing all the process on input. If addition, I'm just giving num plus 1 plus 2. If it is subtraction, I'm giving this, multiplication giving this, and division I'm giving this. You guys understood this? How I'm writing the calculator program without function. Did you guys understand? Please respond. Okay, okay. I got two yes. What about remaining four people? Okay. Sam, did you understand this? Without function. Forget the function. This is a calculator. You understood this? Sam and Vivek, you understood this calculator program without any function at all, directly writing an if statement. Sam, say yes or no. Vivek.
Yes, a little bit. A little bit.
Okay, okay, you understood. So here, in what is the main drawback if I don't use function is, for example, in palindrome checker, I'm going to some other program. I have to do addition. Addition is easy. I just can give num one plus num two. But what if the logic is very big? For example, I'm getting address from the user and validating each and every line of the address. The door number should be number. Then there should be some a comma. Then there should be a street name. Then there should be comma, and then there should be a country. The country I will have a list of 5 countries: India, some other country, India, Pakistan, China. So I'll check if they have given among that five, then the postal zip. And the postal zip should match with Karnataka. If I'm giving, if the postal zip code starting with 5 6 something, it is Karnataka. So similarly, I have almost many checks inside to validate just that address. I'm validating the address. So I've written n number of lines. I cannot go and write the same code here, right? To validate if in other code, I'm also validating my address. I wanted to validate the address. Consider if in other code I want to validate address. I have to copy and paste. Since I've already written it, I can copy the whole content. I can paste it here. But if you implement function and if you have given the function name as def validate address and you have hundreds of lines below to validate the address, you have multiple checks to know if the address is correct, valid address. So what I can do, I just can call this validate address here. I can call the validate address and pass some different address here from other code also I can do. In the same code I can do. I will tell you how we can call one function from one code by in another code, different code. I will tell that. But here, is it easier? Instead of writing, copy and pasting all those 100, if I don't use function at all, if I don't put those logic inside function, I'm just directly writing if else. After I get the address from the user, I process that address and I put multiple if condition to know whether the address is validate. I cannot call that. I just have to copy paste everything and paste it here. If I put all the logic, the same logic inside the function, some function, I can call that function from here. Yes or no? Instead of writing 100 codes here, I can call a function because the remaining code is not callable. This if condition, whatever we have given here, if choice is equal to one, this content is not callable. You cannot call this. If you want the same logic to be implemented in another code, you just have to copy and paste it completely. Okay? Okay. So now that is why we are moving to function. Okay. But now you understood the both calculator, right? Calculator with and without. So this is calculator without function, and this is calculator with function. What I just did is here on logic is there. For example, let's go to divide. Here choice is 4. I'm validating if the number 2, whatever the user had inputted is 0, and then I will print here. I cannot give return, so I will print cannot divided by 0. Then if it's not 0, if it's some valid number, I will divide and I will give the result. So instead of putting it inside my if condition, I'm just moving it inside some definition called some function called divide. Here I'm validating the output. I mean validating the second input, and then I'm finally returning this number. So if you call this function, no, if you call this function with here 0, if you're calling divide 4 comma 0, the output of the function will be this. If you call this divide 3 comma 2, the output of the function is after division whatever you are giving that will be returned. Either this will be returned or this will be returned. In multiplication, this will be returned. Whatever you multiply, the output of multiplication will be returned. When you call this here, some value will be returned and that value will be replaced here. So I'm just moving the logic from here and then I'm pasting it under my definition. Now the main confusion is why we have num1, num2 here and why we have x and y here, right? Why we have different variable. I can still give x and y here. I can still give x and y. And here also I can give x. Here also I can give y. There is no problem in doing that. But for example, if you're having some other function where the
Can
variable
you
is not
execute
x
this
and
code once, ma'am?
yeah, I actually have problem with VS Code. Let me try.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't open it. That's why I'm showing in. Let me save as. I was expecting CD. Okay. Python underscore project underscore is not printed. Okay. To run, I'm just going to the path and then I'm just giving Python. This will execute. So here this calculator dot dummy, here it is, calculator dummy here. So I have given x and y only, not down num1, num2, because I've got x and y as an input. So here I have to replace x and y because it doesn't know what is num1. It no, there is no num1 in this code. It will go and see there will be no memory for this num1 and num2 will be created. So here all I have to replace x and y, but this add will work, right? X and y. Here I have given x and y, the input is x and y, and then that will be passed here. So let me choose only add So the result is 7. This is what we see in calculated underscore dummy, right? That's what I've called here. Did you understand now? Somebody asked me to execute, right? You understood that that code
Yes.
is not having any issue, but it is running fine,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
So you can give x and y also, but later when you write a larger and larger program, you will understand why I have given different variable here and different variable here. That time you will understand that. Okay, so you can pass x and y also. If that's the only confusion, then you can remove the confusion by using the same variable everywhere across. But it would be good if you use a different. This is a different set of code, set of snippet, and this is a different logic. Here the logic is get the input and process it and just call the function. Here, consider this function like how you're calling print. You are not worried about what is inside print, how this print statement is written, this function is written. You know that whenever you give something inside it, you will print it. The Python will print it, and you know some rules like if I am calling variable, it shouldn't be inside double quotes. I should give comma. That's all you know, but you do not know what is there inside print. Similarly, this is a different code. Here you are getting input and just calling the function add. Don't ignore whatever is there inside x and y. If there is some issue, we can go and fix, but ignore that. We just call one function x and y. We are passing whatever input we got. We know the add function need two argument x and y. I mean two argument. It can be any variable. So since I'm getting it as x and y, I'm passing it as x and y, and that will be control will be now changed to this line number 1. Do you guys have any doubt with and without function? Otherwise, we can continue tomorrow. Guys, it's still confusing. If it's confusing, you can tell us. I can. If somebody is still having confusion, you can tell us. I'll explain and I'll make you understand. I'll explain in a different way. I'll try it in some other way so that you guys understood. Only then we can proceed. So Sirisha understood. Rajita, Divya, Sam, and Tilly. Any doubts? Okay. Okay. Tilly, Tilly and Sam. Okay. So if Sam, if you don't understand, you can tell me. I can take it separately because everyone else understood. Only you and me can sit inside go to meeting and I can explain you again. Either you have time today, now or later. Whenever you're comfortable, I can sit for 10 to 15 minutes and I explain, go through again. Sam, do you want to meet again to understand this? Or it's okay? Or you understood?
It's too late on my side here, but I'll go through the video. I'm sure I'll get it clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go through the last 20 or 30 minutes where we started discussing this. If you don't
Okay.
understand, just ping me over WhatsApp. I can spend the 15 minutes with you, either
Okay.
today or tomorrow. Actually, I'm talking about my time zone. Tomorrow we have class, right? Before tomorrow's class, that time also I can sit, or today also I can sit. Anytime is fine for me. You just inform me after going through it.
No
But
problem.
if you don't understand, don't worry. I can, from scratch again, I can take for you. Don't worry, okay?
No problem.
Don't feel frustrated. Programming is always fun. You don't
Okay.
have to get, okay. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay then.
Bye.